It is just like the balcony scene. Okay, guys, as you can see, I've got my baby here. This is actually my last week with her. Um, I am going to take her down to Austin on Saturday, and she will go with her new forever home. She's going to get paired up with another baby female. So this is Sansa. It's the last time we're going to see. She'll probably be on again, but we're not here to talk about Sansa. We are here to talk about. Sorry for the background noise. She and the other pigs are yelling at each other, which is one of the reasons it's time for her to go, because, yeah, she's bringing out the hormones. But we'll just set her right there, and let's talk about the memoir I just read. I gave you some books for Memoir March, and one of them I just read. I read The Girl on the Balcony by Olivia Hussey. Now, if you know Hussey's name, chances are you know her from Romeo and Juliet, the 1968 version by Franco Zeffirelli, or maybe you know her because she's been in the news recently, because she and Leonard, who played Romeo, are suing Paramount over the nude scene. Yes, there was a nude scene. They were both underage, so they're suing Paramount for CP. Let's get to the review. So first things first, Franco Zeffirelli is a complete psychopath. In The Girl on the Balcony, Hussey describes her audition process, and Zeff is just throwing paper to get emotion out of her. He put her up in roach motels in Italy. But what's so charming about this memoir is, one, it is very well written, so like props to the ghostwriter. But Hussey became famous kind of a generation after the golden age of Hollywood. So people like Elizabeth Taylor and Dean Martin appear in the memoir as like guardians. So there's actually a scene where Olivia and her first husband get into trouble, and Uncle Frank Sinatra calls up and says he's gonna take care of it. We do also get into her sort of obsession with Eastern medicine. She meets a man she calls Baba, and she starts meditating, and she talks about the like blue dot appearing in the center of her forehead. That part was a little bit hard to take seriously, just because I don't believe in that stuff and I just think it sounded silly. But I can tell that, she is very troubled. She talks about searching for homeopaths and thankfully admits that homeopathy did nothing for her. But, I've never read a Hollywood memoir, and I was actually very satisfied with this. So as you know, I teach high school, and I do teach Romeo and Juliet, and Olivia Hussey will always be Juliet. She was an amazing Juliet. My students love her in that film. Obviously, we don't show them the nude scene, but she was so beautiful and so bright and just so heartfelt, and Zeff did a good job with his casting. Like, thankfully, he actually cast people who were an appropriate age to play Romeo and Juliet, not appropriate to do a nude scene, but she is, as she states in her memoir, so much more than just that girl on the balcony. That girl on the balcony will always be a part of her. Juliet will always be a part of her, but she's so much more. And she's been in a couple like horror B movies or bad action movies, and she describes working on the sets and how she actually really liked working on those terrible movies, and she loves laughing at them, and she turned out well. I did wonder, there's a lot of adulation for Zeffirelli in this novel, or in this memoir. I did kind of wonder about the veracity of that, but that's fine. Maybe at the time she didn't realize like how terribly he treated her, or didn't realize that there was actually something we could do about it. But there are some lines um in here that I'm just gonna read. I really loved. In the opening when she's at Liza Minnelli's wedding. Through the tinted windows, they seem like exotic aquarium creatures, close, but a world away. She describes the paparazzi, blinding white pop of flashbulbs. My memories of what followed are a series of faded snapshots, images of difficult times. She had incredible eyes. There was a stillness to them, a pathos, as if they had glimpsed some inevitable tragic features. Words are the roadmap to what the character is feeling. Her lipless, tightly drawn mouth hadn't cracked a smile since before the Battle of the Somme. As you can tell, I had my issues with Miss Wayfair. Like a lone guardian standing at the gate, she would fight to hold back the onrushing enemy. That enemy, as she saw it, was the swinging 1960s, coming to engulf sweet, shy teenage girls in a miasma of marijuana smoke and free love. I very much highly recommend this memoir, especially if you struggled through Romeo and Juliet in high school, or if you're like me, you're an English teacher and you teach Romeo and Juliet. It's just such a joy to read, and I will leave you with my favorite quote from Romeo and Juliet, which was actually not said by Juliet. It was said by Mercutio. They have made worms meat of me. So that's it, guys. Keep reading, keep writing, keep loving words, and I'll see you next time. I gotta put up the baby. Bye.